Hello, my name is Luke, and this is my presentation of the geologic timescale. So, the Big Bang occurred about 14 billion years ago, and there's a lot of empty space here, just denoted by Big Bang. Realize there's a lot of time missing, and frankly, it wouldn't fit on my timescale. So, beginning, we have at 4.5 billion years ago, the Earth was formed, and this began what is known as the Precambrian eon. The Precambrian is really long, and it's separated into three different, I guess you could call them subsets. They aren't quite eras, but the first of which is the Hadean. As you can see, the Hadean is very long. Still here in the Hadean, sorry about that. And it's important to note that the Hadean transitions into the Archean at about 3.8 billion years old. So now we are in the Archean, and we will stay here for quite some time until we reach the first notable event at 3.5 billion years ago. The first life was present on Earth, and although this was single cellular life and not very complicated, it's still really cool to think that 3.5 billion years ago there was life on Earth. So we're still in the Precambrian era, in the Archean. Still continuing. I'm about to drop the time scale, so forgive me. And now we have reached, at 2.7 billion years ago, the first cellular nucleus. So this means that biological processes were advanced enough to create a nucleus so they could self-replicate themselves and so on. I'm not necessarily a biologist, but that's my understanding of it. We are still in the Precambrian eon. And at 2.4 billion years ago, we enter the Proterozoic, which is the third and final subset of the Precambrian eon. At 2.3 billion years old, at 2.3 billion years, forgive me, and all of this, of course, is before present. So at 2.3 billion years before present, the first atmospheric oxygen became abundant. This is pretty cool because we as humans and a lot of other things that aren't plants or that don't use photosynthesis rely on oxygen. So this is really important for multicellular life. Excuse me, stumbling, but yeah, it was important for life. So still in Precambrian, and here we have the first multi-cell, and this is at 2.1 billion years old. So the first multi-cell life, pretty neat. Kind of looks like a fried egg, but it's supposed to be a multi-cell life form. We are still in the Proterozoic, so as you can see, we've been here for a really, really long time. I believe it takes up 87% of entire Earth history, which is contained here in the Precambrian. So still in the Precambrian, still in the Proterozoic. We'll be here for a while. Still Proterozoic, still Precambrian eon. And now we're at reaching the end of my timescale here, but this is when things really pick up and change really quickly. So, at this point the Earth, sorry, too far back. At this point the Earth is, let me find my spot here. Okay, so at this point the Earth is covered in oceans. So at 544 million years, we see the first fish evolve. Actually, let me check my sources here. At 530 million years ago, we see the first fish emerge on planet Earth. And now we are in the Phanerozoic. So this is all part of the Phanerozoic explosion. So a lot of life happens here in this last, I'll give you a glimpse of it, this last tiny section of Earth history. So let me find my spot here. And Phanerozoic is split into, let's see here, 3 different eras. And the eras from oldest to youngest are the Paleozoic, the Mesozoic, and this last little crazy bit over here is the Cenozoic. sorry, my computer went black for a moment. So beginning back here in the Paleozoic, we have the at 544 million years, we have the Cambrian period, which extends to 495 million years. Then we have the Ordovician, I can't pronounce that very well, forgive me, that extends from 495 million years to 442 million years. We have an extinction event here at the Ordovician Silurian period boundary. Lasts a lot of life. Rest in peace. And at 416 million years, we entered the Devonian period, and there's yet again another extinction event between the Devonian and the Carboniferous. The Carboniferous period is split into the Mississippian, which is the oldest, which extends to 323 million years, up to the Pennsylvanian, which extends from 323 million years to 295 million years. Then we have the Permian, which extends from 295 million to 248 million. And there we have another major extinction event. Go figure. And now we have entered the Mesozoic era. The Triassic period extends from 248 to 205 million years. We have another extinction event. And it seems like extinction events are a recurring theme here, and that's actually the data that was used by early geologists to determine where the different periods would be established. So we are here at the Triassic-Jurassic extinction, moving to more present times. At 144 million years, we enter the Cretaceous period, and then we lost focus for a moment. Sorry about that. And then at the Cretaceous Tertiary boundary, there is an extinction event at 65 million years. And there's no more dinosaurs, so that's pretty disappointing. The dinosaurs are gone, so we don't get to see them. Although, it's important to know that back here, kind of glossed over this, at 210 million years ago, the first mammals came to be, and they lived in small burrows and things like that. So the idea is they weren't killed off when the dinosaurs were killed by either volcanoes or meteorite impacts. Meteorite impacts are more likely, but I'm not sure if there's still a debate, but I've heard both. And then this mess over here is the Cenozoic era. And the Cenozoic is very small, as you can see. It is only 65 million years of Earth history back from the present day, and it is split into the Tertiary period, which is further divided into the Paleogene and the Neogene. And the Paleogene is split 3 more times into 3 epochs, which are difficult to see here because, frankly, I don't have a lot of room. But the first of which is the Paleocene, extending from 65 to 55 million years. The second of which is the Eocene, extending from 55 million years to 34 million years. And the last is the Oligocene, is 34 million years to 23 million years. So, still here in the Cenozoic, still in the Tertiary period, and now we are focusing on the Neogene. The Neogene, my handwriting is very small there, but I'll do my best to narrate it. The Neogene is split into the Miocene, which extends from 23 million years to 5 million years. And at 5 million years, Earth enters into the Pliocene. The Pliocene extends from 5 million years to about 2.6 million years. And that last little bit there is the Quaternary period. And the Quaternary is important to us as humans, and important to me because I'm sort of a paleoclimatologist, or at least that's what I like to think that I am. And that's when we saw a lot of glaciers covering Earth, and there are particular things about the Quaternary that are important. One of the most important things being that it could sustain a cryosphere. So this last little tiny bit I had to add on here. There it is. The last little bit extends from 2.6 million years to the present day, and 2.6 million to 0.01 million, which is 10,000 years. The which is this tiny little boundary right here, is the beginning of the Holocene. And us humans live in the Holocene, and we enjoy it because pretty warm climate. We don't have any dinosaurs, but we do have a lot of oxygen in our atmosphere. We're able to support a cryosphere. And actually, a little fun fact, or not so fun fact, scientists are actually proposing a new epoch separate from the Holocene, which is known as the Anthropocene, because we've been doing a lot of work and not a lot of good things to the atmosphere, which also leads to major extinction events and the rest of the geologic timescale, at least in the Phanerozoic, because there was really no life in the Precambrian, was based on fossils left over from major extinction events. So based on that logic, people are proposing a new epoch. So that's all. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that road trip through Earth history.